Welcome back to another episode of Luke Talks, bros. Hi, my name is Phillip Earl. I've been playing...
It just sounded like my name is Phillip Earl. That's what it sounded like, Phillip.
Hi, my name is Phillip Earl, and I've been playing music for a little over 10 years. I've been in numerous bands, and I'm going to try to at least do my best to teach you how to do good, music. 'Cause it's definitely not something that everybody can do, but as long as you can try, that's I guess that's it. So I'm just going to try to teach you at least some of the basics. So first off, I'm going to start with just proper tuning of a guitar. I think I talked about this in the last video, but I'm just going to do it anyways. So, so this top string is what's called is an E note. So I'll kind of go back into that a little bit later. But just remember that it starts off with E. Then the next string below that is an A note. String below that is a D. The one after that, or the one below that, is G. The one below that is B, and the final one, it goes back to E. So that's a standard tuning. There's countless other tunings you can do, but that's just the standard. But okay, I've heard a couple different ways of how to do this, or how to remember this. I've heard one. It was every acid dealer gets busted eventually. But the one I learned, it was 88 dynamite. Goodbye, Eddie. So, yeah, however you want to remember it, that's just the easy way to do it. So, and also just with the notes, in case you don't know what a note is. I mean, yeah. So, anyways, so the first thing with it is it's like this with a scale of notes. It starts from A and goes to G, so there's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and in between those there's sharps and flats. And so, like I said in the last video, those are they're just one step below the other notes. So and basically makes certain sharps can be different flats. So it's like I said in the last video, but so starting off with E, and like I said also in the last video, with B and C and E and F. There's what's called there's only a half note in between them to be a whole note. So there's no flats or sharps in between those two notes. And so essentially this top string, if I play E, I play the fret here, that would be F. So there's no in between that. And so another thing too with guitar. So here also, before I should have mentioned this before, but so with these different frets, so they're typically numbered. So when you see read tab, like you see 0, that means just play the note and don't mess with the frets. But so it goes from 1 to however many frets you have, which let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So say about 17 to 19 here. Is how many frets. Another thing too, people kind of miss, so at least some beginners miss is. The guitar designers actually put these little dots on the fret, so that way you can figure out where you put your fingers better. So this one right here would be 5, and it's even on the top here. So you don't have to necessarily go like this to look at it. It is actually really helpful. Although even with the fretless guitars and whatnot, they at least have the top dots. Anyways, and so yeah, like I said, there's also with the actual notes, there's holes and flats. So a hole is it's basically a 2-note jump from, well, not necessarily so basically it's a jump typically from a whole note to another whole note. And so what goes on is, so say I have F or E here, of a whole step, or let me try this again. So let's see, I have G. You do 2 notes ahead. That's what's called a whole step, and so or whole notes, or not whole step. So that's skipping 2 notes. The half step would be the note in between those two. Do you mind? Don't
pay attention to me, Dick.
Anyways, so let me try to get regain my train of thought. So yeah, like
Choo choo.
so between like I said with the B and C and the E and the F, those are only there's only a half note difference between those two because there's only one note like in between them. It's just either it's E or it's F. There's no in between. And so that being said, I'm gonna try to show you some chords, like at least show you some of the basic chords. So let's see. So one of the easier ones, I'm gonna start with. So I'll just start with the easier one. So this is the E chord. So it starts off with so you leave the top string alone, go down to the second one, and you do the second fret to that one. That's the easy way to do it, or actually the way to do it essentially is to have your middle finger on that one. Then take your ring finger, put it on the same fret, but the string below it. So that is actually a note itself too. That's a chord. That's E minor. But to make it an E chord, you take your pointer finger, put it down on the string, like the G string here, and you put it on the first fret. And so that's how to make the E chord. So then there's another easier one, which this is the A chord. So you start off on, so from the top you go 3 strings down to the D, and you have it on the second fret. This one's easier to remember because all you do is you keep all the notes to the second fret. It's just you gotta start with the D string, you go down to the B. And with those two ones too, that's also like when you do bar chords, that's actually kind of like a standard between those, the standard between those ones. So if it's kind of, I can't really explain it right now, but there's chords that with bar chords, let's say like with F here, you make an A chord shape, or not A chord, an E chord shape. But then there's some, say like C, you make an A chord. And that's the standard for it. It's kind of too complicated to explain right now, but maybe a different video. And so then another one that's kind of a standard to use is a D chord. So that starts on the G string. So you want to do this. So the easy way to make this one is to start with that one, to do the second string to that one. Or do the second fret on that one. Then take your middle finger and put it all the way down to the E and do the same fret. And then you take your ring finger and you put it on this on the string in between the two, and you put that like on the 3rd fret. And like those ones, like there's like quite a bit of songs that kind of switches between those ones, and you can kind of mess around with it. But those are kind of some of the basic ones to make. But like a lot of songs too, especially acoustic songs, you at least use A or E and A. Let's see. Like I think I know a couple of easy ones. So another easy one is somewhat easy one to make. Is the G string, or G chord. My bad. So with that one, what you got to do is you actually start on the very top string, like with the middle finger on the top, like on the 3rd fret. Then you take your ring finger, go to the bottom one, or actually the second to the bottom one, I should say. Or you could do either way. It's either way, because they kind of make a similar enough sound, and some people like doing the bottom string. But either way, those two have to be these 2 fingers have to be the same fret. Then you take your pointer finger and you put it to the fret, like you put it down string from the top and you have it on the 2nd fret. And this is what it will also sound like if you do the other way I said. So it's kind of personal preference, because some people like the extra high note, some people just like the regular note. It's completely up to you. See, another easy one to do. I will say easy, but some people can't do these so well, but yeah, they're way more complicated ones than these ones. I'll say that much. So yeah, this one starts off on the second fret, or second string, third fret. Then you do third string, second fret, and then fifth string, first fret. And that's, yeah, so I think those are, yeah, so those are the ones that require they're just their own little chord. They're not like a bar chord. Like, all right, so yeah, okay, so anyways, yeah, like you have like you bar you press your finger all the way across like the strings at once. So that way you kind of like you can so it kind of creates more of a standard for all the other sounds. So you actually can still make like chord sounds with it and not have your standard chord sounds, but not have it be weird. And so. Okay, the thing with these ones, is it's a bit complicated to explain, but here's kind of the basics. So, if you want to start like on the higher up notes, so say if you want to do an F chord, so what you have to do with that one is you have to so you bar it over, but then you make an E shape with your other fingers. So kind of like what you did with the E chord, but just what you do is you use your other three fingers for it. So then you make the B chord, down here the B chord. You actually to make a standard one, like a one that's in the major sense, like anything below down this way. If you start because this one's being a starting note, so anything that goes down below, you essentially just make make an A chord shape. If you want to, you make minor chords of that, then you just use the A minor and E minor. It's just that. But the thing is too, the difference between those, how you can tell if you wanted to do the different notes though, or different chords, is so with the F chord, you're starting on the F note with this one here, and then so this one being A or E, that would be F, and so this one would be. So this is just standard normally B or an A. So then this is an A flat or A sharp, and that's a B. So basically if your starting note starts on the lower on the A chord or A string, then that's the one that's how you use the A. That's the one you use the A chord shape for. Anything on the E string you use the E shape for. Actually I just had a sudden realization that completely makes sense.
B squared.
Yeah, I hope you guys found this useful. Yeah, if you guys want, you can subscribe to this channel, and if you want to hear more, just let us know, I guess. But yeah.